Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge and welcome to Bunches of Lunches. In today's video, I'm going to be making lunches picked out by my kids and lunch ideas sent in by my subscribers. These lunches include lots of red, white, and blue, as well as foods that are brand new. So if you're looking for some fun lunch inspiration, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and let's get started. In this container, I've put lots of different lunch themes for the kids to choose from. And in this other bowl, I've put lots of subscriber lunch ideas for the kids to pick as well. First up is Mackenzie, and for her lunch today, she picked a pineapple theme. So I'm gonna try to put as many pineapple things in this lunch as I can. My first step for Mackenzie's lunch is to make some pineapple and pineapple sausage kebabs. And you guys, these are going to be super quick and easy because I'm using these ready-made Adele's sausages. They make lots of different flavors, but these pineapple bacon ones are definitely our favorite. I'm just going to slice those up rather large, and then I'm going to get these onto some skewers with some large pieces of fresh pineapple as well. Now, of course, these would be really good out on the barbecue, but to make this really easy, I'm just going to grill them for a few minutes using my panini press. This is going to give it some really nice lines and kind of crisp up the skins of the sausages. Check it out, you guys. These look so good and they were so easy. So now that Mackenzie's pineapple main course is done, I'm going to move on to her fruit and veggie. So for her fruit, you guessed it, I'm adding more fresh pineapple in here. And then for her veggie, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some celery pieces in here. I know that's not technically pineapple, but that's okay. And I'm also going to include a little container of ranch, perfect for dipping the celery in. Now for Mackenzie's pineapple snack, I'm going to be adding some dried pieces of pineapple. And if you've never tried these before, you definitely should. They taste like candy. They are really very good. They are soft and chewy and sweet. And if you're a fan of pineapple, you would definitely like these. So I'm just going to put a few pieces in the center part of the lunchbox. And then you guys, while I was at Target, I found these super cute pineapple cookies. Now I just love the little pineapple's sunglasses on here, but you know what? I really think he's missing a smile. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my own using this Food Writer pen. There, I think that is much better. Now he is a happy pineapple. Now you guys, this lunch is full of pineapple goodness, but I have one more thing I want to add, and that is a very special pineapple drink. And for this pineapple drink, I'm actually going to be putting it into a pineapple shaped cup, which is so cute, also from Target, and it kind of matches the cookie. Check it out. So for this drink, I'm going to start by adding a small can of pineapple juice. Then to make this bubbly, almost like a soda, I'm going to top it off with some pineapple flavored sparkling water. And there you have it, guys. That is everything in Mackenzie's pineapple themed lunch. Let's see what she thinks.
My favorite part was the dried pineapple. My least favorite part was nothing. I liked everything. Next up, my mom's making a lunch idea sent in by Emmy from Virginia.
Okay guys, so for Emmy's lunch today, she requested an all red themed lunch, which is perfect because this week I'm trying to do lots of red, white, and blue things since this weekend is 4th of July. For Emmy's main course, she requested some red mac and cheese. Now, as far as I know, there are no mac and cheese brands that already come red, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dye this mac and cheese red. I always like to use the white mac and cheese for this because I think the color turns out a lot better. And whenever I'm dyeing pasta, I always like to add the food coloring to the noodles as they cook instead of afterwards. I find that the mac and cheese comes out a lot less gloppy if you do it like this. Okay guys, so in goes the mac and cheese. It did come out super red. And speaking of red foods, I'm gonna be adding 2 different kinds of red fruits into Emmy's lunch. She requested watermelon, so I just went ahead and cut these into little flower shapes. and I'll add them right over here. And then to go along with this, she's also requested some red raspberries, so I'll add those over here. And then for her veggies, she requested some red bell peppers. So I went ahead and just cut this mini bell pepper into strips. And to go along with them, I'm also going to be adding in a little container of ranch, perfect for dipping. Now moving on to Emmy's snack, she requested a red bag of Doritos, and I'm going to go ahead and just place this bag on the side because I know that the chips themselves are technically orange, but that's okay. The packaging is red, so we're going to go with it. For Emmy's sweet treat, she requested a red macaron, and this is actually a raspberry flavored one with a vanilla center, so I'll go ahead and add this right on the side. And then lastly, for her drink, Emmy requested a red Hawaiian punch. I'm just going to add this right over here. Now you guys, I just love how this lunch turned out. Everything is super red. Next up, I'm going to be making Jackson's lunch, and for his themed day, he picked Cookout. And you guys, to go along with this Cookout theme, instead of using a plate or a lunchbox, I picked up these really cute serving baskets from Target. And to go in these baskets, Target also had these little basket liner papers. I think these are so cute for a barbecue or a cookout. So for Jackson's cookout themed lunch, I asked him if he would prefer to have hot dogs or hamburgers, and he picked hot dogs. So I'm gonna try to make these hot dogs into J-Dog style hot dogs. And basically J-Dog's is a restaurant in Utah, and they make the hot dogs a little bit differently. First, they start by cutting a crisscross pattern into the hot dogs like this. You gotta be very careful while you do this, not to cut yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and make up a bunch of these dogs because I know all the kids are gonna want one. So as you can see, I haven't cut all the way through the hot dog, just a crisscross pattern. And I think the idea is that the little edges will get crispy and extra browned, and that just makes them extra yummy. And yes, technically I should be cooking these outdoors, but it looks like it's about to storm outside, so I'm gonna cook these on my panini press instead. I know that's cheating, but I'm okay with it. And speaking of J-Dogs, when you go to their restaurant, they also have a special sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make it. For this sauce, I'm going to start by adding half a cup of ketchup into a mixing bowl. Next, I'm adding a quarter cup of barbecue sauce, and you can really use any kind that you like. I'm just using Sweet Baby Ray's because it's nice and mild, so my kids will like it. Next, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and you do not want to go overboard on the apple cider vinegar because it's very strong. Next, I'm going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, followed by a little bit of pepper, some paprika, and about 1/4 cup of honey. Then I'm just going to mix this all up. So basically this sauce is a little bit sweet, a little bit tangy, and a little bit smoky from the barbecue sauce. It really is so good on hot dogs. I just keep this sauce in a little container and it stays good for a long time in the fridge. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add Jackson's hot dog to his basket, and I'll go ahead and squirt a little bit of this sauce on here. Now to go along with this cookout themed lunch, I'm also going to give Jackson a little corn on the cob, which I prepared a little bit differently this time. To make this corn, I started with a big old pot of water, then I added a little bit of salt, and this is where things get different. I also added a little bit of butter and a splash of milk to the water. Now I've seen people cook corn like this quite a lot, but I've never tried it myself. The idea is that the corn is supposed to come out really creamy and sweet and tender. So we'll see what Jackson thinks. And to check out these cute little corn holders, you guys, I found these ones at Aldi. Now to go along with this lunch, I'm also going to give Jackson a little bit of potato salad, and then for his fruit, I was thinking about putting watermelon, but instead I'm going to add in some cherries. These are perfectly in season right now, and I know Jackson will love them. For Jackson's sweet treat, I'm going to add in this really fun cookie. I found this one at Target as well. I'm going to add in a retro style Kool-Aid pouch. This one is red, so it goes with the theme. Now you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below what your favorite cookout or barbecue foods are.
My favorite part was the corn, but I didn't like the potato salad. Our next lunch was sent by Alex from the USA.
Okay guys, now Alex's lunch is going to be a big challenge because she asked for all foods that are white. For her main course, she requested a chicken Alfredo. So I'm actually going to start by cooking some of these fettuccine noodles. These are the whitest colored pasta I could find. And this is fresh pasta, so it's only going to take a few minutes to cook. To this fettuccine, I'm also going to add a few pieces of chicken, which is nice and white. Then I'm going to cover it all with this delicious white Alfredo sauce. Now this is just store-bought Alfredo sauce. I just warmed it up and it's good to go. Next, for Alex's fruit, she requested a banana. And I know what you're thinking, but bananas are yellow. Well, this one's kind of green and yellow, but you guys, if you peel the banana inside, it's kind of white, so it definitely counts. For her snack, she requested popcorn, and to keep this nice and white, I didn't add any butter at all. And then for her sweet treat, she requested some rice pudding, which is definitely one of my favorites. And of course, it's nice and white, so it fits with today's lunch. And finally, for Alex's drink, she requested a coconut water with the pulp. So inside this can, there'll be little white pieces of coconut floating all around the drink. It sounds weird, but it's actually really good. And there you have it, guys. That is everything in Alex's lunch. So that brings me to Lily's lunch. The theme that she picked out today is lemon. Now, normally that might be a little bit difficult to come up with so many lemon flavored things, but right now at Aldi, they actually have a lot of lemon themed foods available, and this is part of a fundraiser that they're doing for Alex's lemonade stand. If you want more information about that, I'll go ahead and link it down below. Okay guys, so for Lily's lunch, I'm kind of going for a Lunchable theme, and that's going to start with lots of different kinds of lemon cheese. Now, I'm not quite sure she's going to like these. They do look different after all, but that's okay. So I'm just going to cut a few little pieces for her to try, and if she doesn't like them, it's no big deal. So now that I've cut the cheese and I've gotten it into the lunchbox, I'm also going to add in some turkey, but this is actually a lemon pepper turkey, so it totally goes with this theme. And then instead of adding regular crackers, I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these butterfly shaped crackers. These are definitely Lily's favorite and they are super cute. So now that Lily's main course is done, I'm going to move on to her fruit and a veggie. Now I know she doesn't want to eat a straight up lemon, so instead of adding that, I decided to add in an applesauce lemonade pouch. Now this is one of the special items at Aldi right now. They have this one, and they also have a berry lemonade flavor as well. Now, just like with Mackenzie's lunch, for Lily's vegetable, I'm just going to add in some celery. I know that's not lemon themed exactly, but I do want her to have at least one vegetable, so I'm going to throw these in. And of course, you guys know Lily loves ranch, so I'm also going to give her a little container on the side. But what Lily's going to be really excited about is the next part. For Lily's snack, I'm going to add in some lemon drizzled popcorn. And check it out, you guys. This looks so good. I tried some and it is very tasty. And then to go along with this lemon theme, I'm also going to add in a few pieces of lemon bread. Whenever I go to Starbucks, Lily always requests the lemon bread. She loves it. So I'm just going to add a few smaller pieces into this section. And then the very last thing I'm adding into Lily's lunch is some lemonade. So here we have Lily's lunch before, and here's the after.
My favorite part of the lunch was the lemon bread and the lemonade, and the part of the lunch that I didn't like the most was the celery. I don't really like celery that much. The next lunch idea was sent by Elizabeth from Ohio.
Okay guys, so we already did a red lunch, a white lunch, and now it's time for the blue lunch. For Elizabeth's main course, she requested some blue mashed potatoes. So I'm just starting off with some nice creamy mashed potatoes. And to this, I'm going to add a little bit of this natural food color dye, which is hopefully going to turn it nice and blue. Yes, I think this looks pretty good. Now to go along with the mashed potatoes, Elizabeth also requested some blue gravy. So I'm going to start with some regular country gravy. That's a nice white style gravy. And to this, I also added a little bit of the natural blue food coloring. So now that Elizabeth's main course is done, I'm going to move on to her fruit, which is of course some blueberries. So I'm just going to add plenty of those in here. And then for her veggie, I'm just gonna add a handful of these blue veggie straws. Kind of a veggie, not really, but it's okay. For her snack, Elizabeth requested some blueberry Noosa yogurt. So I'm just going to mix this all up and add it into the center. And then for her sweet treat, she requested a blue sugar cookie. Now these are the really nice, soft sugar cookies. And of course, I love the sprinkles on top. I'll go ahead and add this right on the side. And then last but not least, for Elizabeth's drink, she requested a blue Kool-Aid. So I decided to go with this really interesting sour version. Okay guys, next up I'm making my son Griffin's lunch, and he picked out a 4th of July theme. Now there are so many different red, white, and blue things that I could make, but I'm going to stick to something I know Griffin will like. For this, I'm going to start with just one piece of regular bread. On here, I'm going to add plenty of strawberry jam. And then next comes the fun part. I'm going to add some blueberries up in the corner, followed by some fresh raspberries and some banana slices. And the idea is that this kind of looks like an American flag. Now I know there's supposed to be more stars and more stripes, but I could only fit so much. Most importantly though, I know Griffin's going to love this bread. Now to go along with this, I'm also going to add in some pepperoni and some string cheese. And to make these extra cute, I've added them to some little flag picks. These are meant for cupcakes, but I think they work really well in here as well. Now, Griffin isn't a huge fan of veggies in general, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add some veggie straws instead. And these are the special red, white, and blue ones for the 4th of July. There's stars and stripes in here, so I'm gonna fit as many as I can into this lunchbox. And then for Griffin's sweet treat, something I know he's going to love, I'm just gonna add a handful of these red, white, and blue M&Ms. And then for his drink, I'm just going to add a juice bottle with this red, white, and blue Mickey topper. And there we have it, guys. That's all there is to it. Now I hope that this video has given you some great lunch ideas for this week. If you'd like to see even more fun lunch ideas, you can click on these videos right over here.